Be motherfucking magic. You watching Rap Grid, you know what I'm saying? .com.net shit, org, all that shit, nigga. Be motherfucking magic. St. Louis. I don't know what the fuck it is. The nigga with the Rap Grid hat said that.
Yo, Rap Grid, it's Drect
Hemi.
I'm joined by.
Fuck it, I'm doing my own damn
boy,
introduction. Hemi, what
Alright,
up
my
in the
fault.
building?
You got it.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, so man, we really busting out the Skype technology. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to see more Skype interviews and stuff like that, get in the comments. Tell us who you want us to interview via Skype.
And don't say no more
Smash
me
now.
just because I have a green beard and shit. I know I will receive hate for it. Y'all just got to deal with it.
I didn't even notice you had one, bro.
I mean, it's a little bluish right now. I got to recolor, but.
Your shit like red. And, anyway, your shit is like aqua. Anyway, so look. So yeah, after our World Down 5 blog, a lot of people like that World Down 5 blog. We never did another one.
Yep.
So now we about to be reviewing everything via Skype. So here y'all go.
Oh, let's do
it. This is widescreen, right?
Yeah, your nose fits on it.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Got him!
All right.
You want me to start with day one and just work our way up?
Yeah. We're gonna go with day one. We're gonna do all 3 days. We're gonna you can see what we're gonna do for day 3.
Right.
But he's gonna give you his at home watching the footage perspective, and I'm gonna give you my live in the building perspective.
Word.
So that way we got everything covered. Because I didn't see every single piece of every battle, but he did.
Word. All right, cool. So let's start with Realistic versus Dundee. I thought I had never heard of Dundee before, so I thought Realistic was gonna be like mad dope and shit because I saw him against Bonnie, and that was a dope way to, that was my first time seeing him, so that was a dope way to come out because he killed that shit. But he didn't really kill that shit this time because he choked a couple times and it was a little rough.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, yo, if this comes out on YouTube, because he kind of like choked up, but then he said his bars. He like paused for like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
Then remembered his bars.
Right.
So what I was thinking is, damn, if they just cut out that space, nobody will ever know he choked up YouTube.
Shit, you can do that for literally every single choke.
Some people be coughing and getting water and shit.
You could edit out Daylight trying to take a shit on stage, but it still doesn't change the fact that it happened.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying they might save it with the YouTube footage.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True indeed.
But anyway, Dundee was nice. Not only was he did he win, you know what I'm saying? He was nice.
Yeah. He was dope.
That shit he said about like don't come to Australia because this is like real street shit. He named like all the animals.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that shit was fire. But yeah, so Dundee got it. Would you say 3-0?
Yeah, I'd say 3-0. I mean, I think a lot of people were pretty much saying that shit was a body. Sadly, because I think if he wouldn't have slipped up and like would have been a little more confident in his material,
it would have been a real good battle.
It would have been dope. Yeah, I mean, it probably could have gone 2-1, maybe either way. But since Dundee, I think it was in the 3rd round that he was doing the kangaroo shit and all that, and it was so funny that it definitely it outshined the fuck out of Realistic, and there really wasn't much he could do about that. So. Tis what it is.
True.
But shit. Alright, cool. So that's our opinion on that. And now the next one is Ellipses and Quill.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Hemi. As a white man that's wearing glasses and shit. And Ellipses. The thing we were talking about in the crowd where we were like, yo, he's dope. But is his lane already filled by the Carters and cheddar cheeses? Is there room for him?
Yeah. The reason why I think there's room for him is because you're right. He does fit that like kind of corny white dude realm, right?
Yeah.
But his writing is fucking insane, bro. Like Carter's writing.
Yeah, his writing was really good.
Yeah, Carter's writing is not insane. He's just hilarious. You know what I mean? He's just a funny guy.
I think Carter can actually rap. If you see the way he like patterns his shit and glues his rhymes together sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Carter can't rap.
I'm
not saying Carter can't rap, but what I will say is that when he went against Cheddar Cheese was obviously a better like rapper than Carter.
That's so weird to say, right?
It's weird to say, but I think it's the case. So I would say that Cheddar's probably mad close to Ellipses actually, and that might be a cool. I don't know if they battled before, but that might be cool to set up because they are relatively similar.
Anyway, enough about him.
Yeah.
back to ellipses. I thought
Wait, are
that
we
he
calling him
was
ellipses or ellipsis? Because you pick right now, and that's just what we're gonna roll with. I don't know how to pronounce it.
ellipsis.
All
We
right,
call him
ellipsis.
ellipsis.
My bad. I feel like
Yeah,
ellipses is
that's
like grammatically
lip
correct.
sis.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
all right. So listen. So I thought in the building that Quill started off cool, then ellipsis started smoking him, and then somehow Quill came back in the third round. He actually ended all right. He rounded off nicely. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't
agree.
know what you got.
I agree. I would say if I had to pick, oddly enough, I might give it bar for bar, like 2-1 to ellipsis. Bar for bar. But the problem is that Quill has like substantially more swag than ellipsis, which he obviously was mentioning. So if we're going off
then
swag
when-
alone, then Quill wins.
But then
3-0.
when we come to this, like all awkward white guys lose battles if you have to count swag that much.
If you're going up against somebody who happens to be swaggy. If Cheddar Cheese and Ellipsis battle, we would not discuss swag right now. It wouldn't.
No, Cheddar Cheese is kind of
He's kind of
swaggy
swaggy though. Yeah, Cheddar
He's a
Cheese
strip
is kind
club
of swaggy.
DJ. You know what I'm saying? He's
That's
swaggy.
hilarious. You are correct. He is swaggier than Ellipsis, I would say. But yeah. Anyway, this is a weird conversation now. I don't want to talk about people's swag.
It's all right. We gotta go faster anyway.
Yeah, true indeed. All right, cool. Well, I would say maybe, and I might have to watch again. I could be wrong, but from what I remember, I would say Ellipsis maybe 2-1 in my opinion. Close though, I would say.
I guess I would give it to ellipsis, but I think I don't know. Quill might have got it. I don't know.
He might have got it.
Close battle. Yeah, y'all tell us what y'all think.
Yeah.
Y'all be the judge.
All right. So Peanut and Shoddy P was the next joint.
I can't lie. I missed like the first round, but I came in when Shoddy P was talking about his chocolate chip.
Oh, that shit.
And I started laughing.
That shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my analysis, which I think is relatively accurate, is I think live, certain people probably may have thought Shoddy P got it. Only because his lines were way easier to digest. He just, he kind of throws like, just the 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch. But Peanut is more like rapid fire, like super dope lines and shit. So, me personally, since I rap and shit and I catch shit fast, I thought Peanut won. I thought he at least got it 2-1. I don't think it was like 3-0 or anything. But I thought he at least got it 2-1. But I wouldn't be mad at somebody being like, yo, I thought Shoddy had it because he was technically funnier. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how his style is. So it was.
That was a good battle. A lot of
dope.
people were saying that was the battle of day one.
I thought it was.
Like half the people I talked to say that.
I thought it was.
You know what I mean? But I don't think. I think it's one of them battles that is gonna raise both of their stock. They should both get bigger names after this and shit. And it didn't. Like it was just like it was a good display. Now they both go higher up the Mortal Kombat block.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I would love to see both of them continuously on King of the Dot. I think that's a good look.
Yeah.
Especially for like new talent. If we're talking about like new talent, you know what I mean, and them trying to push them, I think that's perfect. Cool. So we're pretty much in agreement. All right. The next one. That one technically didn't happen on day one. It was Arcane and Chilla Jones.
Did they switch that?
I believe. Wait, is that the one that was switched? I think it was. Yeah. Arcane and Chilla
I guess so.
Jones.
All right, we'll skip that one. We can go back to it.
No. We can go ahead and move it in. We're doing it right now. Arcane and Chilla Jones.
So when I heard about this battle, the first thing I thought about was the Arcane and 100 Bullets battle, where Arcane and Bullets went super crazy with the fucking bars, and I was like, damn, if Arcane can revert back to that shit, then I think that would be a way better battle than most people think.
Right.
After watching it was kind of weird. I don't think the crowd was all the way live. The crowd wasn't all the way into the battle.
Right.
No one was booing or nothing like that. But I just feel like I don't know. It was weird, man. Like the battle didn't have like a crazy vibe to it that was getting people into it. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to judge. It was kind of like I was listening to bars like
Yeah.
And then it was hard for me to judge that one.
Right. It was kind of it was awkward. I agree. There was like an awkward air in the room, and I don't know why that was the case. I don't know if one, people thought that's a weird matchup to begin with, or two, if people were like, Like, what if people don't fuck with Arcane anymore there? Like, you know what I mean? What if it was awkward because that? I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
like that because Arcane, when he was like, I think in the second or third round, when he was like trying to prove some points and like going in, like he was getting some dope reaction. I forget what the line was he said, but he like
Right. Well,
he was
and
describing something and people were reacting to
that
it.
was actually going to be my point. Like, I think I looked at it as a yo, this is Arcane coming back kind of battle. More so like this is an Arcane performance instead of this is Arcane versus Chilla Jones. So like that's just how I kind of viewed it. I fuck with Arcane. I always thought Arcane was dope. The line shit, whatever. There's a million battle rappers that hit up other battle rap friends and say, yo, what you think about this line? And then that friend will alter it a little bit and they're like, oh, true indeed, yeah, that's dope. And shit just fucking happens. And people can act like they've never done it, but all of y'all have done it. Shut up. But yeah, I fuck with Arcane. And I fuck with Chilla too. If I had to say who won that battle, I think stylistically, I think I usually prefer something more like Arcane instead of Chilla. The word association shit is cool, and there was a couple things he did that I was like, yeah, that's dope as fuck. But I'm not a big fan on word association shit. To me, it gets old. To me.
You like Arcane better than Chilla in general?
Well, yeah, but it depends on what Chilla shows up. The Chilla versus Math was a super dope Chilla to me, but that's not the Chilla that I saw against Arcane. And it was probably because the crowd wasn't really reacting, so obviously it took some, wind out of his sails. But I don't think he got to like really get into it like he wanted to.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know what to say about that battle.
Yeah.
I feel like people who like Arcane gonna say he won, and people like Chilla gonna say he won.
No, I agree
That's one of
completely.
them joints.
I agree completely. And I think that's exactly what just happened here. But I do fuck with Chilla, but
Right.
I don't know. And that one, if I had to give it to anyone, I would say Arcane. A lot of y'all are probably gonna be like, yo, you bugging, fuck your opinion, B. You got a green beard, shut the fuck up. And that's cool. So
Right.
anyway, aside from that one, all right, then it went into Sharon and Bonnie Godiva.
Oh. Live. Sharon went first, right?
Yeah.
Yo, his first round was like, people were like, oh my God, Sharon, no, this shit is crazy. She ain't never coming back.
Right.
Bonnie's first round was like, I think Bonnie's first round, in my opinion, maybe was her dopest round. You know what I'm saying? Like she got a lot of oohs and ahs, but the feeling in the building was it wasn't really enough. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, this is actually a real dope round, but it's not enough because Sharon just went crazy.
Right.
Second round, Sharon super turned up, and
Yeah.
Bonnie kind of lost the crowd. And then that third round, it was same Sharon. It might have been Sharon's weakest round. I can't remember, but it was still like people were feeling like, oh, Sharon already won. Bonnie, her first half of her third, to me, was kind of flat. But then that second half of the third,
right.
I don't remember what bar she said, but people started reacting to mad shit. And then she grabbed his dick. So I was like, wow, Bonnie.
It might have been around the time when she said, I don't give pussy to punks. I mean, she had some key moments, like the one thing when she went to talk to the other chick in the crowd and was like, yo, like, have you ever been like, yo, you see that little red-faced kid over there? Like, he cute. Like, it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was a great angle and it was hilarious and shit. I think that happened in her third round. But I agree with you a little bit. I think the first round he hammed out. I didn't like her first round at all. I thought it super was flat comparatively. And I was like, all right, Sharon got the first round. Second round, I thought he got it. Third round, I still think he got it. She did turn up in the third, but I don't want to say that, well, she gets the third because she started to do well in the third and she did the little dick check. No, I didn't mean to say little dick check, like no pun intended. My bad, bro. I meant she did the dick check in general.
Oh, yo, pause.
Yeah, pause. But yeah, she did the dick check in general. And I don't want to just give her points for that. I mean, it was cool, and that was a cool way to end the round. But I in my opinion, I think she got bodied. I know a lot of people are saying, like, yo, but you was mad misogynistic, and like, yo, you could have talked about her battling skills, but instead you talked about her being a woman. Well, shut the fuck up, because it's a battle, and she's a woman. And she talked about him being a man and not getting pussy. So it's the same exact shit, but you just mad because he talked about her being a girl. Shut the fuck up. It's a battle. This shit is stupid.
I think that... man, 2 round. Bonnie almost. I thought Bonnie was on her way to being bodied, and she jumped out the body bag and made it a good show. That's what I think.
You really?
You ever hear somebody
really?
say that?
No, hold on,
I
hold
don't
on.
think she got. I don't think she got bodied.
I'm not allowing this. I'm not allowing this. You said
I
she
don't think she
jumped.
got bodied. I don't think she got
That's
bodied.
fine. Then you
I
think
think
she
she
got
almost
2-1.
got bodied.
You think she got 2-1.
No, I didn't say that.
What are you saying? You said she jumped
Three
out of the
rounds.
body bag.
No, 3 rounds isn't always a body bag.
What? If you get 3-0,
You can-
it's a body bag, bro.
No, because you can lose every round close and not get bodied. We've seen battles like that before.
Whatever.
I'm not saying she lost every round close.
That shit was a
But I'm
body.
saying
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst body. I don't know. It might have been. The
I
worst
think the
body of
first
the
half.
night.
I felt like the first half of the battle was a body, and the second half she kind of came back and did better. It didn't look like a body. But anyway, there's people saying Bonnie won in Sharon's corner.
No, I agree. That people are saying that. I disagree with their opinion. I don't know how you could have that opinion based like if the people that are saying that are the same people that say bars over bullshit, then really he clearly
I think Sharon won
he clearly had
convincingly,
better lines.
but it wasn't a body bag.
He had.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, he clearly had better lines, and I think he performed his lines better than her. So therefore, based off bars and delivery, I think he got it. She didn't look comfortable in at least in the first round to me, and I think she's dope. I don't think that I thought Sharon was going to beat her, and he ended up beating her, and I think he beat her pretty bad.
True. Well, Sharon won. Is it?
Yeah, true.
All
right. So after that, Arsenal and Cortez.
You want me to start this one, or you want to start this one?
You go ahead and start it.
Yo, I bet the people in the comments are gonna agree with me, man. Cortez was doing so good. Like Cortez was on. Like when you look at different battlers, what makes them pop is like streaks. You know what I'm saying? You go on a win streak, or you go on a streak where you just have like mad good or mad close battles, and then the fans start jumping behind you. Like, yo, I heard people because people like to make fun of Cortez for whatever reason and shit. People stopped making fun of him and started getting behind him. Pause. To make a push for him to really be that guy. And I think this Arsenal battle was like, yo, Cortez wins this, or it's a crazy battle that everyone's talking about and arguing over who won. Cortez is a new Cortez. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I really felt.
I mean, the Big K battle was huge for him. Like that's big. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he did really well in that.
But I think Arsenal. Arsenal went crazy, bro.
Yeah,
and the crazy thing is, Arsenal was not spitting the super craziest bars of all time, but his performance, his delivery, the persona that he took on, his aggression.
Yeah.
It was just, he's one of the few people that can say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and that niggas be like, that shit hard.
Yeah, you know and that's the thing. It's, yet again, it's about performance. I think he outperformed Cortez. You know, line for line, one could make an argument that Cortez may have had better bars than that. One could make an argument. But and like Arsenal was talking about, like the you aborted a kid that had Down syndrome or whatever, or was going to have Down syndrome, and apparently that's
which was probably false.
Right. Yeah. Apparently that's not even true. But the way that he presented it and then said you just didn't want your kid to come out looking like a droopy face Snapchat filter, that shit's funny. And since it's funny, by way of battle rap rules, like, you get more points. Like, it was funny. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But yeah, I think we're both in agreement that Arsenal got that battle. I fuck with Cortez.
Arsenal killed that shit. Yeah. Arsenal killed that shit. I really wanted that Cortez to like push into the fucking limit.
Yo, he's dope, man, and he's a good dude. Every time I come in contact with him, he's a super cool dude. So I wanted him to win that. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever met Arsenal in person. He seems like a cool dude too, but you know he's always been one of the greats. You know what I mean? That's never gonna change. So I wanted Cortez to get this shot just to, you know what I mean, like be up there, and he is up there. He's definitely one of the most consistent battlers, hands down.
Yeah, but definitely.
But I just mean he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He definitely deserves more respect.
Exactly.
So for those of you watching this, if you do agree, definitely shout out to Cortez, man. He's that dude. All right, cool. So that's that. So next, Iron Solomon and Charlie Clips.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and start. I thought it was. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I thought it was kind of like a boring battle almost. I wasn't like super. I was excited to see it, but then when I was watching it, I was like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like they both did well. It just. I think it was just weird. It was just a weird style matchup to me. I think.
You know what I was thinking? I think when that Clips and Solomon battle came on, I don't know if it was Head Ice, but somebody said some shit to me like, "Yo, man, they should do some of the. They should have like some of the main events early in the night because
Because it
they'll
went
get
on
the
for
ill
too long.
crowd.
Yeah,
They'll
that.
have the ill crowd.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that probably would have changed it because it's not like their bars were whack. I was actually about to say Charlie Clips. I'm glad that particular Charlie Clips showed up. You know what I mean? Like that to me, that was dope. I was like, good. Like he actually took it serious. I mean, obviously the one testicle round, uh, no pun intended. That was hilarious. You know what I mean? Like I thought that round was great.
Yo, but
Uh,
let me ask you this real quick though
what
about
up?
that round.
What up?
When I was watching that, I was like, oh, he might have went in too long on it. Like I
Nah,
don't know if like I was
nah,
like I don't know if the footage is gonna be like, oh, he spent too long
nah,
talking about
nah.
that shit.
Nah, to me it was funny because
Alright.
it's funny within itself. Just to be like that guy only has one testicle. It's like that's crazy. So
Yo, you know I meant to interview Iron and ask him if he only has one testicle.
wow, yeah, you should do that. Yo, Skype him after
Yeah, I
this if he
forgot.
watches it and he's like, yo, fuck y'all, I got two testicles. Speak your piece on that, bro.
But if he
But
only has one, it's gonna be mad awkward because
well
he's my
then,
friend.
yeah, but then he'll just be real about it and be like, yeah, I only got one testicle. But it doesn't make me half a man. I'm still that dude. And he would be right. One testicle does not, but it's still funny to talk about. Sadly, that's just how life goes. But
Oh
yeah, so
my god.
I thought that, in my opinion, that was like Charlie Clips' best round. It was funny. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's almost like a cheap shot, but I don't give a fuck. It was funny and it's a battle, and that's what you do.
You know,
Iron's
I
writing was
think
great, though. Iron's writing was great, just like it is in every other battle he's in. Yet again, Iron Solomon is definitely one of those like consistent dudes, and I fuck with what he was saying at the end, saying like no matter what, I'm gonna give it 100% every single time for the culture. I'm not doing shit just to like get paid and shit, and I fuck with that. I think that's
mhm.
dope, and I think a lot of people in the battle rap culture like feel that and they want that. You know what I mean? So that's dope.
I mean, I think arguably every battle Iron has had since he came back has been a classic. I
Mhm.
just thought this one was a good battle.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm
I
saying? I don't
agree.
think it had any of the intangibles to make it a
I
classic, but it was a good battle.
I don't know who to say. I don't know who to say won though. Like I don't know who
I
to
don't
be.
either. I was trying to lean on you because
Right. Yeah.
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
it's just after talking about it, it's like yeah, I think Charlie Clips was funnier, but I don't know if I necessarily want to give him the battle for that because line for line, I think Solomon probably had better writing.
Yo, and his rebuttals were crazy.
Right. No, exactly. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. So it's kind of hard for me to call it. I mean, I I think both of them won. I think it was a good showing by both of them. It just sadly the crowd wasn't as into it, and it happened later on.
Man,
So
you
the
think it would?
battle,
That's what it was. It didn't have like the electric crowd. That's why it wasn't like
if the crowd,
super bananas.
well, think about it. If the crowd would have been more electric, it helps with literally every single battle. It's just like if somebody says, "Yo," and that's why you look like David after shit, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I don't know what David after shit is," but the crowd went crazy, and you're like, "Oh," and you have no clue who he is,
You
but you
do
still
that? I thought you
reacted.
had more integrity as
I
a
don't do it, but what I'm saying is people in the crowd do it because the crowd did.
yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is David after shit? Let me Google him real quick and see who the fuck he is. And then I'll look it up and forget what the line was about and then be irritated with the whole situation. But what I'm saying is the crowd definitely affects mood. 1,000%. So if the
David after shit.
if the crowd if the crowd would have been more into it, then I feel like it probably would have made the battle a little bit better. But
All right, yo, this blog finna be an hour long, man.
You are correct. We're at 23 minutes right now. We still got.
God damn. All right, let's go. Let's go.
You want to go a little quicker on some of these?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, cool. So the next, so that was day one. Day two, we started with
Oh, we
aftershock.
done with day one. Good
Yeah,
job. All right.
yeah, we did it, man. We in here. So day two, we
Mhm.
had aftershock and Mad Flex.
Okay, well, I thought Mad Flex was gonna sweep this because he's like, to me, he's one of like the rookie of the year candidate dudes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying? He's
definitely.
been killing shit. And yo, man, Aftershock surprised me. I remember me and Ice were in the corner watching this battle and like talking about it and shit.
Uh,
Like, yo, Aftershock he was being like super direct to the point, but it was like working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was being corny. I just thought he was just like saying exactly what he wanted to say, no cute metaphors or nothing behind it, and it was effective.
Right,
And I was kind of like, damn, I ain't see this happening. And I felt like I don't know, it felt like he was kind of edging Mad Flex a little bit. But I could tell Mad Flex was saying some of his lines. He's a real crafty dude. He dropped a lot of heavy wordplay. I could tell he was doing that, but it just wasn't resonating with the crowd as much. So I was kind of like, damn, I wonder what this looks like on footage.
And that's what I was about to say. I think when you go back and you look at it, I think a lot of people are probably going to be like, yo, I think Mad Flex got that. Because neither of them had a whack performance. Like, they actually both performed really well. And Aftershock, to me, like, his performance was dope. I agree. He was definitely direct to the point. I don't know if his lines necessarily hit harder bar for bar. And since both of them actually had a good performance, the only thing I can use to like say this person won would probably be the actual lines themselves. And I think Mad Flex, there's more like every single line there's something to it. You know what I mean? There's really not a lot of filler at all from him. So I think that actually gives him points in a battle like this. And I would say that Mad Flex won.
This is one of the battles where I'll be like, yo, Aftershock won. And then just to get home and see people be like, yo, Drect was tripping.
Yeah.
Mad Flex won.
Yeah, I would say Mad Flex won, but I would probably give it to him like 2-1. Like, it was close. He definitely didn't, no one got bodied in that battle. That was actually a dope battle. But I would probably give it to Mad Flex if I had to pick.
All right.
After that, Sketch Menace and Unanimous.
You know what's crazy? I thought Unanimous was going to go super nuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of some of his UK battles.
Yeah.
But I thought Sketch got it and Unanimous just wasn't connected.
I did too. Yeah, I don't think I don't know. Maybe it was his performance. I've seen him perform better than he did in this particular battle.
I know he got like skinnier and shit. Maybe he's just not like throwing his weight around and shit.
You think he lost weight, and when he did, he also lost energy? It's weird.
I mean, he said he was eating clean and healthy and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think he would have more energy if he was eating clean.
One would presume. I don't know. To me, his performance, it just kind of fell a little flat. And like Sketch, like personally, I'm not like a huge fan of Sketch. Like, I think he's cool.
His shit was crispy though. He was on point.
That's what I was gonna say. I think his shit was cool because the writing, it was very well written. His performance of it was still good, but I don't know. It's kind of like almost like an ellipsis kind of situation. You know what I mean? It's like, but I like ellipsis more than Sketch if I had to pick. Something about Sketch, I don't know. It just battle-wise, as a person, I'm sure he's fucking amazing. But battle-wise, something about it, I'm not a big fan. But I do think that he won this battle. I think he definitely beat Unanimous.
Yeah, Sketch won.
Yeah. All right. So next, 100 Bullets and Real Deal.
That's another one. I didn't see the whole thing, but I think I was doing some interview shit. I came back in the third round, and I saw Real Deal getting mad reaction, and I saw 100 Bullets getting some reaction, and I was like, oh shit, the whole battle was probably mad close, but people were like, Real Deal smoked that shit.
Yeah,
like, Real Deal smoked it.
I would definitely give it to Real Deal. The first 2 rounds, clearly, he got it. The third round, you could say that it may be up for debate because of the angle that 100 Bullets took. Like, I understand the angle that he took and what he was saying to Real Deal, but Real Deal's not that kind of... He's definitely wrong trying to attack the character of Real Deal. I say that only because I know Real Deal, you know what I mean? But the average fan that's watching it might be like, ooh, that's crazy, you know what I mean? That's true, Real Deal's an asshole, blah, 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 but it's just not the case. But regardless of that round, even if you want to say 100 Bullets got the third, I think Real Deal clearly got round 1 and 2, so I would say 2-1 Real Deal.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that? Sonny was telling me that he don't think that Real Deal was gonna go super hard for that battle. And when I talked to Real Deal, he was like, yeah, I just wrote some shit down. And I was like, oh, I hope he don't choke, or I hope he don't just fucking say some bullshit.
Nah, he bodied that shit.
And then
that shit was fire. The crowd loved him. Yeah, the crowd loved him. Yeah, he was... Real Deal definitely handed out. That was dope.
Well, good job, Real Deal.
Yeah, shit. Let's see. Thesaurus and Toomey.
Can I make a statement?
Go ahead.
Toomey, I love you, bro. Body of the event.
Yeah, that was rough.
Some people were trying to say it was realistic, but no, realistic was actually doing all right and it had reaction. He just couldn't hold it together.
Yo, by the
Toomey
way,
just wasn't connected.
bro, try to like make your face more in the middle of the screen. Nah, not like that, but like width-wise. You know what I mean? Nah, there you go, right there. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how I was gonna cut it.
Don't even edit this out. Just keep it.
Yeah, nah, I know.
Alright.
I don't know how I was gonna cut it. So hopefully your face isn't like half there the whole time. But if it is, then you'll be Harvey Dent. Fucking yeah, Toomey, you got bodied, bro. That shit was rough.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a motivator.
What do you mean? No, I'm motivating right now. If he watches this, he'll be like, damn. True indeed. All right, back to the drawing board. It's just bar for bar, and Thesaurus has been doing this for fucking ever, and obviously Toomey is a huge name in Africa, and that's fucking amazing and shit, and I don't know how many battles he has under his belt, but I'm pretty positive that Thesaurus has way more, you know what I mean, under his belt. He's a very seasoned veteran.
Well, you know what?
It's
If you watch like Toomey versus Nestle,
yeah,
you'll be like, yo.
that was a different Toomey though. That was a completely different Toomey.
No, but if you watch that, you'll be like, all right, well, the only question about Toomey is the battle going to, is his battle style going to resonate with a different crowd? That was my question.
Right.
And I don't even think it was a battle style thing. I just think he kind of dropped the ball.
Well, no, that's my point too. Like when I watched him against Ness, I thought both of them did really well. I thought it was a good battle. But, and that's why I was like, yo, people are like sleeping on Toomey, so like this is gonna be dope, and people aren't even expecting it. But then I don't know, when he started going in, it just, at first the crowd wasn't fucking with him. I think that fucked with like his performance, because he was like, damn, the crowd's not fucking with me, like fuck.
Yeah.
And it's that feeling that all battlers feel, like if you have like even like one corny line and no one reacts, and you're like, fuck, and then you start feeling like this weird, like, I don't know. It's like a sinking feeling, and sadly, his lasted the whole battle. And what?
Yo, so what was the shit the Thesaurus said about Mozambique? That shit had me dying.
I don't even remember.
You know he matched up the syllables perfectly and shit.
Of course he did.
All right, but yeah, that's
Mozambique
put an asterisk.
like
Put an asterisk.
Teeth? Huh?
Oh my god. So put an asterisk next to this people because it was body of the event.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely the body of the event. Shout out to the Source. You absolutely killed that shit, bro.
Shout out to Toomey too, man, because I want to see you bounce back.
Yeah, hell yeah, definitely bounce back, bro. It's not like it's a career-ending anything. Like, no, you're good, bro. You definitely come back and ham out. Technical difficulties, so we had to edit. So next one was Head Ice and Big T.
I'm gonna go ahead and say battle of day 2. And arguably battle of the event.
I personally wouldn't say battle of day 2, but I would say that's definitely one of the best battles of the whole event. Definitely, yes.
Honestly, to be real with you, I thought Head Ice was smoking him in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I thought Big T was getting smoked, and Big T comes out with arguably the best round of the whole event.
Oh, his third round was crazy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, his third round was bananas because he basically touched on why everyone likes Head Ice but don't understand what he's saying, and captured what literally everyone thinks about Head Ice perfectly.
Yeah.
So that was. Does that make you think? Rounds like that make me think that Big T don't write that hard, and then he just throws something in there to make sure he doesn't look bad. Like I would love to see. I've seen Big T on 10 a couple times, like against K-Shine.
Yeah,
against Sue Surf.
But his first 2 rounds were still dope. It's not like they were like super whack rounds at all.
There was a huge difference between his third and the first.
I agree, but I think what that means is that he can still be Goku and then he can go Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? Like he's still dope, but there's a different level that he can go to.
But he was definitely losing the first 2 rounds though.
You know but it was still dope though. It was still dope.
Okay. But live, okay, this is the live versus footage thing. Live, it looked like Head Ice was just destroying him, and then in the third, he just like woke up and came alive.
Nah, I wouldn't say he was getting destroyed, but I would say that the thing is, Head Ice, his performance is always great. You know what I mean? Like he always performs extremely well, to where it's like, talk that shit, Ice. You know what I mean? And he was hamming out, always. technical difficulties again. Head Ice was talking that shit. And then fucking, but yeah, Big T's third. You know what's crazy about Big T's third? I hope Big T's watching this because I think he'll fuck with this. So I'm sitting there watching all these battles with my girl and shit, and she's like falling asleep and waking up and all kinds of shit, just, you know, chilling. So Big T's third, like, he's going in, and all of a sudden my girl was like, he's bodying this shit, and she's not even like really a huge battle rap fan per se. So for her to make that statement, I was like, you're right, he is. Yeah, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it was clear, even to people who don't really watch battles like that he was hamming out in the third. So if you are watching this, Big T, bro, if you do that shit in every single round for the rest of your life, it might be a rap for a lot of these battle rappers, bro.
That's a pretty high standard.
Hey,
that was
fuck it. For the rest of your life,
that was a
bro.
legendary round. If you ask me, that's a legendary.
I agree completely. But imagine, what if he did that in every single round against?
You know how hard he would have to write? He'd have to take like one battle every 5 months.
I mean, I guess that's one way of looking at it. But Big T, you know how long it took you to write that particular round. You know exactly how long it took you to write that round. So just think about that and be like, shit, I can do 3 of these every single time I battle. It's not a problem. But yeah, that was definitely a legendary round. Super dope battle. I don't even want to necessarily call it. If we had to call it, one could
Ice
say
2-1.
Ice 2-1. If we had to call it.
I think Ice 2-1, but Big T's third was so crazy that it made the battle mad enjoyable.
Oh, totally. The battle was enjoyable regardless. It was dope. Definitely something y'all need to check out if you haven't. All right, after that, Pat Stay and Serious Jones.
All right, bro. Do I go or you go?
I'll go. I feel like if I say it and people don't like my opinion, then they'll just chalk it up to me having a green beard, so it won't matter.
All right.
So I personally thought Pat got it 2-1 because I think in the first 2 rounds he did what Pat does. You know what I mean? And I think Serious Jones was trying to do the the word association shit that Chilla does, but he was just, in my opinion, it's not as good. You know what I mean? It comes off a little And Pat actually mentioned that in his verse too. And like I was thinking it, and then Pat said it.
What verse did he say that in? The first or the second?
I want to say it was the second. I think he talked about it in the second. So it was after I had already watched him have like a few kind of lines, in my opinion. And then when Pat said it, I was like, exactly. I was just thinking that, and you said it. And I think when people do that in battles, I think it means more because it's like, yo, I was just thinking that shit. You said it. You get more points, in my opinion, of course. Yet again. So
you know what's serious? Look, I keep referencing when I talk about this battle. I reference the Charlie Clips battle, and I put it alongside the Pat Stay battle. So bear with me for a second. Serious Jones is like that monster on Power Rangers that you thought you hit him with the sword and he disappeared under the water, and then all of a sudden he came back up and he was bigger and stronger, and you had to go get the Megazord to get him. That's like Serious Jones to me. It's like, yo, people spit the craziest rounds against him, dog.
Right.
And somehow he like survives and then like arguably wins the battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and that's the thing though. In this particular one, I don't know that there was a crazy Serious Jones round. But
no, I'm just saying. No, I said they spit the craziest rounds against him.
Right.
Like Pat's first round was bananas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But my point is though that I think since he went the route, and I respect the route that he took for the third round, and I get it, and like I personally want to be a very positive dude in life, so I respect what he said, and what he was saying is real shit. But since it's a rap battle, it's hard to get like the hip hop culture to be like, what? We've been fucking with pimping since Too Short. Like, Too Short's been doing this forever. So you're here telling us that pimping ain't cool.
Well, how did you feel being the because you're a positive dude, being you're a positive guy? Did you feel like fuck that shit, or did you feel like that's real shit? Well, like, how did you feel?
I felt like both. I felt like, yo, that is real shit, but maybe in a battle that's not the best angle to take because people aren't gonna go. Everyone's not gonna be like, yo, that's real shit. I fuck with that. I think a select few will, and I did, but I still felt like, yet again, the crowd has a lot to do with it. The crowd was relatively receptive, but in the third, everything dropped off when he took the route that he did. And
well, do you think that if he delivered it super crispy, kind of the way he delivered his third round against Hollow, do you think more people would be saying Pat won, or would you say Pat won?
Well, I still think Pat won, and maybe more people would. I don't know. It's kind of hard to call. I just think subject matter, maybe that wasn't the route to take. Somebody like B Dot, that's like always, positive, but I think B Dot has like a very interesting way of saying shit like that. You know what I
He
mean?
mixes it with crazy bars too.
Right, and I feel like
Yeah.
Pat just kind of harped on that, and it was hard to, because it's a battle. So it's like you are battling the character of him, and you're saying, yo, like you have a daughter, bro. Like you can't be pimping and have a daughter. Would you really want your
Yes.
daughter doing this? So I get the angle, and it's a very accurate angle, and I feel it. But that's what lost a lot of people, I feel. So you know what I mean? Like not. I'm not necessarily saying maybe you shouldn't have done that. I'm saying that didn't work. It particularly in this battle, it just didn't work. So, I guess it's something to keep in mind for future battles. Or if you're like, fuck that, I'm gonna talk that real shit regardless. Respect to you. I feel you on that. I can't.
Well, you know what? I don't want to play serious. You know what I'm saying? So let me say something about serious. So like his first round, he told me that he thought his first round was going to be his strongest, and it didn't go that way in the battle. You know what I'm saying? Which I just thought first round it was over. Pat got him. Second round, his Sirius is interesting because he has so much charisma.
Right.
That in normal situations where people would make a weird noise or people would like heckle him, he's kind of like, come on, man, I'm that nigga, I'm the shit. And people are like, true. And then like they react. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His charisma is like crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I agree, like I told Sirius this is no surprise to him. I told him that I like his old style better than his new style, but he's like, yo, like I gotta prove to motherfuckers that I'm just not an old fuddy-duddy and I can like spit with the new dudes, which I think like he's had rounds that have been great. Like I think the second or third round against DNA was crazy, but I just think that like I like his old like the nose grab, and I said, yo, I want to see him do that shit because it matches his personality.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think his newer style matches his personality 100%. But what I will say is, at first I was saying that I thought Pat Stay won, but like I don't know, man. It's weird because the momentum is a motherfucker, man, and I kind of look at it like Jones kind of won.
Well,
you know what I mean? He won. He kind of won.
He took the momentum at the end, definitely.
And that's the most important part to take. If you're gonna get some momentum going for you, that's a fucking home stretch.
Well, yes and no. The problem is if you don't have the momentum until the last round, then
can you say without a shadow of a doubt that Pat Stay won the second round? Because I think a lot of people couldn't say that.
I think he did. I personally feel like he won round 1 and round 2, and then round 3 is where it got awkward for actually both of them. And I think even Serious Jones's third round didn't really start off that well. It ended really well. Like he ended.
Now, he had a stretch where like the crowd was going crazy.
That's what I think that was towards the end, and I think that's why it seems that way. But I think if you actually sit down and literally plot everything out, I think a lot of, I don't know, and maybe I'm bugging, but I feel like Pat may have got it, and it was.
No, I feel like you can go off technicalities and you can go off what it looked like on paper, but I think there's just a certain feeling and energy that battles have, and if you go on just that natural battle feeling and energy and competitive spirit, then Serious Jones kind of won. You know what I'm saying? If you want to look at like, obviously Pat won the first round.
But see, that's the thing. I had that feeling you're talking about Pat for the first 2 rounds, and then I had that feeling about Serious Jones towards the end of his third.
It was I don't even know what the fuck to say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
we said all we could say.
Of course, but of course, this is battle rap. It's all opinionated. I mean, no one judged it, so this is just our opinion. Can't be mad at it, or you can and talk shit about my green beard. So the last joint, title match, Roan versus Caustic. I thought that was one of the best battles of the whole event. I thought it was great.
It definitely was.
I thought both of them did amazing, and I'm glad that was the title match. It was dope. I thought it was better. I thought it was better than Roan and Ilmac. I liked it more. I enjoyed it.
Well, look, I judged, and I told Caustic and Roan this. I told everybody this shit, right? I was one of the judges. Now I can't lie. When they said unanimous decision Roan, I understood it, but I just thought it sounded bad because it was such a close battle.
Right. No,
Right? And Caustic wasn't tripping about losing. He was tripping because he was like, damn, unanimous? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 50% of people might think he won. So he's like, bro, how is that unanimous? I thought it could go either way. But I think every single judge, from just talking to them later, was just like, yo, like, the battle was amazing. I almost gave it to Caustic, but I edged Roan.
Right.
Like, that's what everyone said. Like, I edged Roan.
Well, this is I think this goes back to what you said earlier when you said even though it's a 3-0, it's not a body bag because the rounds might have been close. It goes the same way for judging. The judging was close. Like some might have been like a 2-1 Roan, 2-1 Roan, 2-1 Roan.
Yeah.
But it was like one away from being Caustic. So it's not really I agree that was not a body bag at all. That battle in particular was not a body bag. And I think that's the reason why, based on how you said that earlier. I think it was great.
So this is what I do want to say for everybody, so they can understand the psychology behind how I judged it. Is that when you're going for like a championship or a title, I think that you have to take that shit from the champion. You know what I'm saying? If it's close and it's down to the wire and it's like, like, yo, you have to do something that takes that shit from the champion. So that's how I felt. I felt like Caustic was mad dope, but he didn't snatch the title from Roan.
Right.
Like for instance, and this is what was going through my head on video or whatever. It might look different, but round one, I remember being like, yo, Caustic is smoking this shit. Honestly, I like Caustic better when he doesn't say mad personals and just does bars. Because some of his, like the fucking peel your top back to blow off steam like a couple of that shit was crazy. I never heard no one say that. And you would think someone would have said some shit like that before, you know what I mean? Like, he was bodying that shit. And I remember, like, 3/4 in a Roan's round being like, yo, Caustic won the first. Oh, shit, we got a battle. And then I remember the way Roan ended being like, oh, well, shit, Roan might have got the first. And so in my mind, I kind of like put that on standby, like, all right, Roan, I almost had Caustic, but Roan might have got the first. Then I remember the second being like, a lot of people thinking Roan got it, but me, I think that's the round that Caustic said the noodles thing. And he just had some bars in there that I was like, yo, I remember being like, yo, I'm giving Caustic the second round. I'm definitely giving Caustic the second round.
Right.
Not everybody, I don't think everyone agreed, judging off the reaction and shit.
Yeah.
I remember like, yo, I love Caustic second. Then the third, I remember just being like, I guess Roan ended better, and Caustic was trying to get personal, but it wasn't as effective as his usual shock value shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, I guess Roan got the third round. And me just kind of thinking like, damn, I guess Roan won. And I kind of had to replay some of the lines in my head, and I was like, yo, what it came down to was Caustic didn't do anything. He didn't have a moment that was like, give me that chain, that shit's mine, I'm the new champ. It was just like a dope battle that went down to the wire, and you could edge either. That's not enough to take the chain from me, you know what I'm saying? Not enough to be the champion of that battle, when the other dude also did mad good.
Right. Yeah, I feel pretty much the exact same way about this battle as you do, and something that I want to point out, and this is one of the main reasons why I personally feel like, Roan definitely won, and why I think Roan is a very, very effective battler. A lot of people said, yo, he can't beat Caustic, but I was like, yo, he could, and what he did in the first round, to me, was amazing. When he was essentially insinuating that he was about to say some very personal shit about Caustic, and Caustic was like, yo, don't, you know what I mean? He was like, listen to me, Caustic, listen to me,
yeah,
Caustic.
That's another thing. He got Caustic a little emotional.
Yeah, but then he didn't do what Caustic thought he was going to do, and that's exactly what Caustic did to Big K. So it's like, yo, here's a taste of your own medicine. Don't do this shit. And that's essentially what he was getting at, and it was so well written, and I think Roan,
it was like his strategy was
so
really
well
good.
written, and I think Roan is one of the best writers in battle rap. And I know some people are like, what, you're bugging, but I don't give a fuck. Like, that's my opinion, and that's why he's very strategic, and I think that worked out amazingly well for him, and that's why I thought clearly he got the first round. The second round, I agree. I think Caustic's writing was better in that, and I think his performance overall was better. Not like by a million, you know what I mean? But I edged the second round to Caustic, and then the third I edged to Roan because of the writing thing.
Did you say Sharon?
No,
you said I edged to Roan.
Yeah, I edged to Roan.
I was like, Sharon.
That's hilarious. No, I edged it to Roan because of the writing thing with Fresco and Fredo and shit like that. Like, yet again, like that's something that maybe not a lot of people are talking about right now. So one can say it may have fallen on deaf ears, but I think that it was still, I think it was worthwhile to mention, and the way that it was mentioned, because it's like, yo, Caustic's like, yo, fuck Arcane because I gave him bars, but at the same time, you apparently have done the same shit. So it kind of takes, the steam, out of him. So I thought that Rome broke Caustic down better than Caustic broke Rome down, and that's why I thought Rome won as well. But both of them are super dope. Like they are very talented, and they are two of the best at what they do. So, and I would.
Yeah, you wanna know something mad crazy about this battle, even though it was close?
What's that?
I was sitting there like, and I don't know if it's a favorite thing, but I was like, yo, this is like my favorite Caustic performance.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
it
saying?
was one of
But
Caustic's
I was like,
best, but it had to
I
be
was like,
like it's a
I was
title
like, this
match.
might be, yeah, but I was like, this might be Caustic's best performance, but I didn't think it was Roan's best performance.
Mm,
But I thought Roan had a good strategy.
I kind of disagree. I don't think it's maybe necessarily Roan's best performance, but I would definitely put it up there with some of his best performances, definitely, and material as well. I think his material in this was really really good. So, I don't know. I thought both of them like really. I thought both of them pretty much showed their best, and that's why I thought it was a great title match. It was really good, I thought.
And yeah, that was the last battle.
Yeah. Did you want to go ahead and move on to the day 3 joints?
Yeah, let's talk about day 3 real
All
quick.
right. So I'm
All
gonna be
right.
honest with y'all. I have not seen any of the day 3 joints.
I hadn't
So
seen every battle, but I talked to everyone enough to know.
so we're gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm essentially gonna say I'm gonna predict who I think would win based on what I may know about some of these people. Some of these people I don't know, so I'm not really gonna have an opinion.
So you're gonna be like guessing off a name and shit. Like his
Yeah,
name sound cool.
I'm legitimately gonna do that, and then you are going to tell me either one what you know because you were there to see the battle or whatever, or two what you heard people saying, and this is how we're gonna have to recap the third. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. All right, so we had Alias the Addict and Mickey Worthless. I think
You know, I'll go ahead. My fault.
I think this battle is really interesting because Alias is the homie, and he's super dope. Like bar for bar, his writing is fucking amazing, and his performance is dope as fuck. But it's not like I don't know. It's like a calm dope as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and Mickey Worthless is so like funny. He's just like super hilarious and shit. So that's why I was like, damn, like this might be a problem for Alias if Mickey's like super super hilarious if Alias doesn't turn up his performance. And I know he's capable of doing it, so it really was on that. If I had to say who won, I would say this particular battle was probably a style clash where if you like super funny shit, you might say Mickey got it. But if you like the super like bar for bar shit and swaggy funny shit as well, then you might say Alias got it. So
Yeah,
I would say it was probably one of those kind of matches, but uh, I I would probably say Alias might have got that shit.
you're probably exactly right. Because
Yeah,
this is what a lot of people were telling me. Because I was mad, I missed the shit.
yeah.
But
I really wanted to
a
see
lot of
that
people
though.
were saying Mickey was hilarious. Mickey did something that was like mad hilarious.
Hmm.
Alias had some shit. I heard Alias did some like singing shit where he like remixed some shit.
That was a
And
banger.
everybody was saying like, yo, if you go off the bars and shit, Alias kind of got it, but Mickey was mad funny. I don't know. So that's exact. You got it.
Yep, figured.
All right.
But yeah, dope.
All
Shout
right.
out to both of them because both of y'all are yet again
Yeah.
really dope at what you do. All right, so the next joint is Lil G and Caveman Brown. I've heard about Lil G and I've heard people go crazy about like his name and shit, but I've never heard him.
Go watch it. All I'm gonna say about that is everyone just go watch a Little G battle. Just go watch that shit.
All right.
Little G he kind of kicked the bucket. Caveman got at him. Caveman is gonna
That's what I was gonna
Caveman is gonna have a future on King of the Dot.
That's what
You
I
know
was
what I'm
gonna
saying?
say. Caveman Brown, yet again, that's the homie. Shout out to Caveman Brown. I
Hmm.
know what he's capable of, and he's super talented. He's like really, really dope. So I would have edged it to Caveman Brown, and apparently that's what happened.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of Caveman's King of the Dot career.
Fuck yeah, that's
And
dope. I'm
Lil
happy
G
for him.
kind of fucked up. So
Dope.
yeah.
All right, cool. So Tez and Dunch, I'm pretty sure that battle didn't go down because Dunch couldn't like make it or some shit.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
All right, so we'll skip that one.
I don't know. If
that
it did, my bad.
Yeah, if that did happen, sorry everyone.
Mhm.
All right, so Step Easy and Frack. I think Step Easy's dope, and I think Frack's really dope. If I had to say someone won that, I'd probably give it to Frack.
I didn't see it.
Did you hear
Because
anything about it?
Step Easy came like mad late to the event, so
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Did you hear anything about
Yeah.
it? Like, do you know what people are saying?
I think Tasha told me something. I forgot. To be
Shout out
honest, I
Tasha.
forgot.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
Tasha.
then
Leave a comment, Tasha.
I'm just gonna say Frack won.
All right,
So,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to Frack just because.
Come on, I'm waiting for you to say one battle so I can talk about it.
All right, Franchise and A Word or A Ward.
Woo!
Is that the one? Is that the one?
Shit right there, cuz. That
All
shit right there.
I don't know either one of them. If I'm going off a
Son,
name,
I
I'm
didn't
giving
either.
it to
I didn't either.
Franchise. Just 'cause,
First of all, oh
Just
my, yo, because he was with Zealy.
yeah.
All right. It's
32.
inside joke.
Yeah.
And it's old nigga inside joke. But anyway, so yo, that battle, that's one of the best battles of the whole. That's arguably the best battle of the whole King of the Dot.
Really?
Dog.
I gotta watch
This
that.
cat A Ward, I forget where he said he was from. I don't know. I forget what state, but he had like a little country accent. It was like one of them like, I don't know, Topeka, Kansas or something like that. My bad if I'm fucking you up, A Ward. That's my dude. Dog, he was fire.
Yeah?
Fire. And the fact that he could kind of like do the Proving Ground style, but appeal to the King of the Dot crowd. Plus he had a funny country accent, and he's a Christian white rapper.
Yo, I think I actually saw him in the fucking what do you call it? The pay-per-view. Yo, where'd your video go, bro? Fucking.
My bad. All right, I'm back. Ignore it.
Yeah, true. I think I actually saw him in the talking in the pay-per-view, little interviews and shit, and he seemed like a cool dude. So that's dope. So you're saying that he basically bodied Franchise, or
no, this is
not
what
bodied.
happened. So franchise. Imagine like a dope like dude with like the PGS style, straight gun bars, a lot of punchlines and shit.
Okay.
I think it's weird because he had kind of like a PG-esque style, but he was dropping a lot of punchlines more than fucking dancing with wordplay. And he wasn't really doing that. He was dropping, dog. He was like that, but with like the ill hood Canadian accent.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And dog, he was like, when I walked in, maybe during the second round, and A Ward was like going crazy, and I was like, oh, bro, he's the best dude here. Like it's over. This dude Franchise came back and had the crowd going bananas.
Damn.
And like I remember just being like, yo, like this shit crazy. And yo, but I'm gonna tell the fans though, y'all, if you want to see that battle, you got to go to Ground Zero channel because King of the Dot is actually doing something smart. Instead of releasing it on the main channel, they're trying to build up the Ground Zero channel to where it's like its own league. You know what I'm saying? So, like it has like a different look and feel. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Yeah.
So who do you think took it? If you had to give it to someone, based off what you saw.
I think A Ward was a little more creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I would probably go A Ward based off of that. But Franchise was fire. So it's not like, I don't know, I have to see it back.
All
you
right.
know what I mean?
True indeed. All right. So the last one, Chrome versus Jeffrey. I haven't seen Chrome before, but I've seen Jeffrey before, and I know he's dope as fuck. So if I had to give
my bad. I didn't see this whole thing, but everybody was saying that Jeffrey fucking bodied this shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
Jeffrey's my man, though. I meant to see that battle.
Jeffrey.
I ain't see shit.
Jeffrey's super dope. So yeah, I would have given it to him, but apparently he won anyway. So all right, dope. Well, shit.
Yeah, so this is a long ass blog. I actually liked it a lot. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think people like this shit.
It's like an hour long.
You know what I'm saying?
You were right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You editing it, so fuck it.
Fuck that shit. Y'all ain't seeing nothing. It ain't going up.
Alright, well, if y'all had reacted to that, then y'all seen it because I made them edit it. So, Rap Grid, World Domination. I said it on purpose.
Yeah.
Holla back. Greenbeard Sunday. Whoop, whoop.
Sure.
Niggas start forming groups with mad miscellaneous niggas.
Just to get rid of what?
To get us out of here. Niggas that had beef.
Yeah, rap ain't surfing
rights.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say you.
Nigga, I'm saying it, nigga.
He don't deserve me to say his name. That's why I ain't saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, niggas had beef.
talking about you. You talking about my daddy. What's up? It was only a matter of time for people to realize what was going on, and that niggas was in an illusion that night. Dog he had the whole crowd in an illusion, and he hypnotized them niggas. So he got to be a cold nigga to do that. If he can hypnotize 3,000 people, he got to be a cold nigga. So I give Lux his respect.